Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is High Rise Invasion, Volume 4. We've got Yuri and Nisei on the cover. Yuri's looking cool. Nisei's kinda doing that thing where your friend's looking cool and you have to try and, like, make a pose that sort of fits with what they're doing, but you're not really paying attention to how it looks on your ends. Like, Yuri's pose is a pretty decent self-defense pose, / maybe intimidation pose, but Nisei's is more like just, Anyways, I'll get off of that. Like, it's a decent pose for the cover, but the more I look at it, the less sense it makes as, like, an actual self-defense move, especially the way she's holding her knife. Anyways, so we've got Rika over here. Last volume, we ended with the revelation that the masks are angels, and that there is at least one girl in this world who is on the same level as God. And that, of course, this entire realm exists for the purpose of creating gods. So, what does that mean? Let's see. I mean, duty of the angels seems to imply that we'll follow up on that to some extent. Right, the chopper takeover plan is the right approach. It's no good to be sentimental. That's really nice. Like, I was really worried that Yuri would be the one who keeps on saying, like, oh yeah, my big bro Rika, he's so awesome, but we wouldn't be able to see that reciprocated. And I'm really glad we are seeing that. Like, it helps to build their actual relationship. Yuri or Rika, who's going to be closer to the chopper? Aw. I really also like that his name isn't that cool. In fact, like, it feels like their names should be flipped over. Like, Yuri is occasionally a guy's name, especially outside of Japan. But, like, the fact that he has an uncool name actually makes him feel cooler. Like, it shows that you shouldn't take him as, like, the ultimate badass. Like, there are weak points to him, and yet the fact that he overcomes those is what makes him extra cool. It is the same brand my father is fond of. Also, I do appreciate that while the like, translations aren't the best, like, while I can definitely see more like, personality in the Seven Seas version of the series, I do appreciate that at the very least we can see that she's a very prim and proper person. Like, her lines have always been written to be very, like, polite and very, like, not fancy, but, like, proper. Also, I really hope we see these two, like, continue on, because, I mean, he'll be a good bodyguard for her if, like, any of the other masks attack, but to be fair, I don't think they will. Like, assuming they all have the same readout of this person is equal to God, she should just have a party of masks. That would be really cool, actually. Like, and, like, just to have this party that is just, like, an escort group of masks and one non-masked person. Yeah, like a socialite, okay. This is so cool. Okay, so she's only been here since yesterday. Also, to be fair, we don't know how long this world has existed. Like, some of the masks are implied to have been, like, former people who have fought here. So they may have been around for longer, but it seems like a lot of people came in yesterday. Like, on that first day that Yuri came in, it seems like a large number of people were all dropped in. So, like, maybe it's not like people come in randomly or people come in every day, but more like there are certain days where people come in. Like, once a week or so. Yeah, according to our information, she's a human close to God, but she seems to be normal. I did not know he was still coming after me. Okay. Oh boy. He's got a shield, and he doesn't have a mask, so he's just some sort of, like, rapist, I assume. Alright. So for the first time, we're on the side of the masks. We need to get rid of this guy. From now, I'm going to inflict despair on that guy and force him to jump off of there, because, seemingly, that is the duty of the angels. Is she going to try and stop him, though? Like, this is pretty sudden, and even if this guy is a piece of garbage, at the same time, she might be worried about, hurting him. Yeah, that's one hell of a shield if it can block actual rifle bullets, like, from that close of a range. Well, if there's no way to make him jump, then he's allowed to use full lethal force. Oh! Yeah, that's not true. Every time, I love that. Like, the pause right before the impact, it's so good. But yeah, it's interesting to note that shields exist in this world, and especially a shield that is that good. Like, that's just a random drop. My name is, well, I only found out that she really didn't have any information. The only things I could find out were her name and the fact that this girl is ashamed of her name. Okay. It seems like this girl's name is Kuon Shinzaki. Kuon is very strange. I don't know if I've heard Shinzaki before. I've heard of Shinozaki as a last name, but Kuon, And yeah, it's probably a good idea. I mean, if I existed in this world and I knew the masks wouldn't kill me, then I'd definitely stay with one who can talk. Is there someone else generous like you in this world? Let's see how this turns out, because first of all, she assumed that she killed him. And also, like, if he approaches with a girl, like, that's going to lead to some interesting misunderstandings. Though, to be fair, Yuri is a very logical person. Yuri's the kind of person who won't immediately kill her because, like, oh no, she's part of the mask or something. I just thought that Mr. Mask called me his sister. Aww. There's a lot of bro-con, sis-con stuff going on in the series. Wait a minute. What? It just hit me. I literally just realized that no, he didn't say that out loud. He thought it and she heard it. Like, that's too close to be just a random, like, oh, maybe he thinks of me as his sister. No. So something relating to the fact that she is, like, on the level of God is that she can hear the thoughts of the masks. No humans, no masks. Yeah, that's very interesting. Like, not just that we didn't, like, I assumed we would have skipped some mask encounters to get here, but no, there were no mask encounters at all. Also, I do appreciate that they're traveling light, but I feel like if there aren't any masks, you probably should go, like, down to the first floor and get some stuff, you know? You're like my older sister. I'm now feeling happiness in this world of desperation. I wonder if we'll get a bit of backstory, like relating to her. Because she adapted to this world very quickly. But I don't think that's wrong. Like, as I've heard time and time again from people who like post-apocalyptic series, like, there are a lot of people who are quite nice people who, like, when bad things happen, when it's just you and you have to survive, they would, like, be willing to try and kill. So I can buy that, like, it's not that big of a deal with her. Like, it's worrying, but it's not like it portends that she's a crazed lunatic or anything. Oh boy. Okay, I remember him. Yeah, this is the chef from last volume. Not now. Not just now. Oh no. Wait, is he saving her? Nisei-chan got kidnapped. Oh, right. Never mind. I'm an idiot. I forgot that, yeah, the chef was the one who has a full, like, understanding. Like, he's completely, like, how do I put this? So he's not, like, he didn't fall victim to the programming of the masks, but he's still murdering people because he likes to do it. So naturally, he's not going to immediately try and kill her. He's going to try and chop her up. I had this long desire to go to some place where I can do whatever I like. You can call me Mr. Chef Mask. Oh, and this is a bad idea too, because, like, the first talking mask that she finds is a lunatic who still wants to kill her. So if they meet up with Sniper Mask and he starts talking, like, she's immediately going to think, okay, we need to kill him. Like, even if he's talking, he's probably still trying to kill us. Most likely my mask is defective, so that kind of trick doesn't work for me. Oof. Oh god. And yeah, like, those are actual severed human heads. It's going to be hard to keep your composure with this. Like, the normal masks, as creepy as they are, they're a very specific type of creepy. They're a kind of creepy where it's like, yeah, like, once you fight them for a while, you get used to it. Kind of like zombies, I think. Or, like, they follow a set of rules. And so while they are terrifying, you can condition yourself to understand those rules. But this is a guy who is completely different, while still being a major threat. So, of course, she wouldn't be used to this. I'm curious about this. Like, sir, I think it's Nisei-san's fault. What does that mean? Like, that's a very formal thing to say. Instead, I killed other people and chose to live. I killed many people, even those who begged for their lives. I can understand this, though. Like, yeah, she kind of deserves it in terms of sheer karmic potential. How, though? How did Yuri find her? God damn, that is a beautiful 2-page spread. Like, anything that involves a powerful use of foreground and background is something I'm going to really like. Oh, that's so good. Ah, are they tied with something? Okay, yeah, so naturally she heard it. I used my school uniform as a safety rope. Man, her outfit is getting slowly like more and more damaged though, or like more and more worn down. So as much as I do hope she keeps it to some extent because it'll show like all the struggles she's gone through over the course of the series. I feel like she's gonna need something else as well. Like she's gonna need a change of clothing eventually. In the end, the desire to rescue Nisei-chan exceeded everything. Yeah, she really is, in her own way, a god. All right, come up the stairs with the gun. Because, yeah, she needs to get up using both hands now. If you don't fall, you're not going to die. I'm not going to die! Oh my gosh. Like, I love how the series repeatedly shows how terrifying it is to fall. Like, that's what the entire series is based upon. But, like, unlike the masks, with the base masks, I should say, I'm getting used to them, to their creepiness. Like, even with these new editions of masks that have their own minds and, like serial killer masks and whatnot, it's not as scary as falling. Like, I'm getting used to that idea of, the masks because it's understandable. But with falling, like, there's no reasoning with it. There's no finding tricks to get around it. It's either you fall or you don't fall. Like, I mean, I guess that's wrong in the sense that you can find tricks to, like, get up, like with this, the bungee technique. But, like, there's no reasoning with falling. There's no way to trick falling, or there's no way to distract falling. Like, once you really are falling, it's down to either can you grab something and save yourself, or is someone going to help save you? And if neither of those happen, then you're dead. What a fucking hypocrite. Why don't you jump off from here with me? Is that so? I am right now really happy. Oh, that blush too. Like, I think this is the happiest we've ever seen her in the series so far. Like, not just smiling. We saw her smile before, but now she's got the blush. Her eyes are very kind in the shots. Right. The reason I'm going to survive is to win my own happiness. I won't be able to win my happiness if I kill myself or get killed by someone else. So I have a resolution to keep fighting. Eh? Okay, so while Nisei was, like, here, I guess Yuri found someone, perhaps. Huh. Okay. For those who share the same idea, okay. Let's create God and put an end to the situation by joining hands. We are humans, and this message has nothing to do with the organizer of the world. I do like the way this is written. Like, even though it is somewhat formal, it's not as clean and formal as the notes written by the actual masks, or by the administration of this world. So, I don't think this is a trap from the mask's perspective. But this might still be a trap. This is still pretty fishy. And the God thing is interesting in the sense that, like, yeah, it's creepy out of context, but in context, we as the readers know that, like, that's a real thing, which means that they have some information that our main characters don't have right now. Right, you saw the word God in two different places. It's certainly a little mysterious. It's a risk, but I think it's still worth doing. Like, it's dangerous for sure, but the series has been, like, not resolute in showing this, but it's been showing to some extent that, yeah, trust is necessary. And their trust might be betrayed, but I think it's worth it. At the very least, like, dip their toes in, go in with a gun. If they're going to attack, then, well, run. But if not, this might be a good way to expand their forces. What? That masked man is acting strange. That man is no longer an angel. Right, because we saw before, the crack on his mask means that the other masks are willing to attack him. Okay, it's not cool to hide it while walking anyway. Okay, Shinzaki-san. Nope, he's not doing it. But yeah, okay, so, like, her family name is fine. It's just, she doesn't like the name Kuon. Alright. Come to think of it, it might be the first time for me to talk with an ordinary man like this. I'm starting to think it might be manners. Manners might be what brings you closest to God. Because, like, all the stuff relating to the masks has been very polite, very clean and crisp. That might honestly be it. Because in a world like this, where, it's life or death, it's very hard to maintain your manners. Like, you wouldn't do it unless it's been drilled into you ever since you were a kid. Like, it'd be very easy to just say, nah, screw it. Let's live like animals. But that might be it. That might actually be it. I predict then that she's going to loosen up as a result of meeting Mr. Mask here. And when she loosens up, she will no longer be close to God, and then she'll be killed. Again, like, as much as this is a good, like, interesting idea for meeting, if he goes there, he's going to be compelled to kill them. I guess we can make our way to that black building. Oh, I can't wait for this showdown because it's going to happen and it's going to be tragic no matter who wins. Like, at this point, I still think that Nisei could die. I don't think Yuri's going to die. Like, the series has cemented her as the main character. I feel like, even though she has her brother, and you could say that, okay, maybe Yuri's going to die and her brother will take over as the main character for a while. I don't fully buy it. It feels like a series where Yuri will win in the end. Like, I think her brother has a way higher chance of dying than she does. I feel like someone might open the door and jump out. Okay. By the way, your boobs are tiny and cute, Nisei-chan. Okay, yeah, so I think she genuinely is, like, attracted to Nisei for some, like, to some extent. Not as much as her brother, but I do feel like this translation's playing it down a bit. Oh, come on, just be a person, just be a person. Yes, it said in a peaceful manner, or was it a lie? We had to do this in order to keep away unreasonable people in masks from the Black Building. Oh, that's real rough. Yeah, I mean, you've got to do it. You've got to kill her. As we've seen, there's no way to save masks. Like, they're willing to cooperate, but they're not as kind-hearted as Yuri is. I think that's an interesting, like, half step upwards in terms of being potentially dangerous. Now, does this mean code as in, like, a law, as in, like, the rules that the masks play by? Or does it mean code as in potentially the code on the back of the masks? Also, did he take, like, is this just a hotel room, or did he take her back to the, like, the administrative areas where, like, the masks are allowed to change? Yeah, she's very trusting. But, I mean, that's part of what makes her so appealing. And if I'm right, if it is manners that allows you to survive, that makes you closer to God, then that might be the reason why she's able to survive. Like, it's because she's so trusting and willing to assume that others will follow a general baseline of morality, that this world will protect her. You might see some embarrassing information about me. So he's definitely going to look at that. Notice, this realm is a mechanism to create God. Please look for God's code inside the realm. First of all, so she saw this notice, even if she doesn't understand it. Like, I don't think any other humans we've seen so far have seen this notice. Please look for God's code. What does that mean? And in that case, like, if she's close to God, maybe it's not inherent. Maybe she found it, but she doesn't understand it. Right. The electronic code lined up in the back of the mask is transforming humans. So, I think that makes enough sense. Like, I don't think it's exact. I assume God's code is, like, it might be similar to the masks then. Like, you see it, and then something changes in your brain chemistry, and from that point on, like, all the masks will recognize you as God, or as equal to God. The mechanism to create God and the God's code. I know now what the real goal of humans being summoned in this realm is. Right. It is a vast place. The place that's most obvious would be the tower. Like, it might be somewhere in the tower, but there's not much of a hint as to what this could be. Like, there's this, which is, like, just his imagination of what God's code might be, but, I think it's worth seeing how things will turn out. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, it really isn't anything unusual, as much as it is abhorrent. Like, there's no way to save her. We have seen that time and time again, and Yuri knows that. Like, she understands at this point. You can't just take off the mask and think that they're still going to be fine. So, like, it shows that they don't hesitate, but at that point, they need to not be able to hesitate, especially if they have, like, an organization. Like, they can't afford to make a mistake and potentially risk the lives of all the people that are helping them. Also, this is suspicious. Like, this could be a way to isolate and kill them. But I'm assuming it's that, like, if these people are dangerous, like, if they assume that Yuri and Nisei might be dangerous, then it means that they always have one person guarding each person. That's true, though. As we established back in, like, Volume 3, he's showing his back with no caution, so he doesn't expect you to shoot him in the back. But at the same time, that's not necessarily a sign of trust. It might just be a sign of, like, well, in this situation, I'm pretty sure you're not going to violate it. That's a technique typically used by predators to just use social convention to keep someone from being able to fight back. All right. And I really do appreciate that Nisei is more extreme than Yuri. That if worst comes to worst, like, Yuri's going to still try to not kill people. That's just what she is as a person. And Nisei will absolutely kill. That's who she is as a person. Like, they're a good combination. In the email. Okay, so I assume that he also has a smartphone, perhaps? Or maybe one of the rooms in the other building has, like, a terminal, and this also has a terminal. Okay. Let's see. Who is their leader? Like, it can't be a big reveal, right? Like, there aren't enough characters for that. It could actually be Rika, because we did see that Rika has, like, in addition to the teammates we saw, he has other teammates. So this could be his deal, and just, he didn't explain it before because they hadn't come up with the idea of the posters. Either that, or I think it might be a mask. Like, if this really is a trap. Yep, it's a mask. Although, again, let's flip it back around. Maybe, this is like the other guy. Like the serial killer guy, where the mask doesn't affect him. And the reason why he's the leader is because specifically, like, the masks won't attack him, so he's capable of saving other people directly from, other masks. Ugh. Was a trap? Maybe? I could still see them flipping it around. Like, it's possible. It is possible that they just stunned her because that was the only way to keep her from killing the mask. Huh. Wait, what? Like, I get that. I get the idea of not seeing the mask so you can have a fake mask. Sure. But why did he have it then? Like, what was the purpose? Was it just to distract her? That seems very weird. He could have stunned her at any other point. There's no reason to do that. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It's just a way to keep her mind focused on her front as opposed to her back. Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, that does make sense. I was reacting against it before, but I do get it. If you find God's code, which be somewhere in this world will end. Whoever finds out God's code will become God, the raison d'etre of this world, this realm will end. So, why do they need her like this? And why are they telling her this? Like, I can only assume they're doing it because they're going to either have her go into a room full of masks, like they assume she's going to die, but they need her to do something. Like, they need her to get something that is, like, heavily guarded. Either that, or they're going to put a mask on her for some purpose. Like, they need a mask in order to do something. Wait, what? Who in the world is that? Okay, who in the world is this? We've got our isekai protagonists. Episode 59, he's the main character? Okay, this is a good idea for a chapter. I'm surprised they're doing it this early, but still. Like, I like the idea of this, like, and it would be kind of cool, actually, if he stays around. Like, I assume he's going to die in this chapter. But if he doesn't, it would be nice to have, like, a third party where it's like, okay, we're all pretty sure this guy's going to die, but we're going to keep on following him every once in a while. We're going to see, we're going to check in on him. Okay. This is also a cool way to recap the series. Like, we are 59 chapters in. Oof, he was drilling holes in human flesh with a power drill. It seems like the first mask a lot of people see are, like, very vicious ones. I mean, a lot of them are pretty, like, they're dangerous, but it seems like, especially with how Yuri first came in and she saw the butcher mask, I wonder if that's genuinely set up. Like, is it a starting event? Like, every single time someone comes in, they immediately see a brutal mask in order to scare them, in order to show them, yes, these masks are dangerous. Because if you spawned and the first mask you saw was one that just wanted you to jump, it was like, just vaguely threatening, it might not be that scary. Whereas this is scary. This makes you want to run. Whenever I panic, I should pretend to be the main character of a game. Alright, I can buy that. Like, that's an okay way to cope. If I had to guess, she's like a saleswoman mask, I guess. Like, this outfit is very much like the outfits I tend to see at, like, the mall, where someone's, like, at a booth trying to sell you something. If this is a game, it's too difficult. This isn't just a game. This world is just hell. Yep, so this is the typical way that someone goes here. Like, this is the typical way for people to die. So he's not playing around. He is just broken at this point. He doesn't want to die slowly and painfully. So he's gonna jump. So they let their guard down in front of people who are about to commit suicide. Is he going to be saved by Rika? Yep, there we are. It's Rika. Like, we hadn't seen him in a little while, so I figured we'd get him again. Please, free yourself. Honestly, that's actually pretty cool. That, like, he's not, like, he is smashing their faces in, but at the same time, a lot like the masks, actually, he's willing to let them jump. So I figured he was going to be, like, a third main character, but I guess he could also be part of Rika's group. Like, this is a cool way to introduce someone who's going to be part of Rika's group, who also like we can care about. Like he's not just a side character, even though he is a side character. He's not a nice person, but I think I can tell that this person is special. He's the main character of this world. Again, like, because we saw him first through Yuri's perspective and then through his own, we know he's not the main character of this world. Like, we know that he is genuinely a nice person, but he puts on this character. And though we as the audience and Yuri as his sister aren't fooled by it, this guy's perfectly fooled by it. Yeah, this world is not a game. If you think about it like that, like, it might be a way to cope, but at the same time, I think that also makes it a lot easier to think about killing yourself. According to the brother, Rika Honjo, the name of the true main character of this world is Yuri Honjo. If this is some sort of game, then after the shift of scenery, you'll know her whereabouts. God, what a good recap chapter. Like, it really is a recap chapter / a reintroduction chapter, but it worked so well. Among the masks, there are strikes and non-strikes. Also, it seems that there are some called Lucky Strike. Oh! Okay, so is that it? Like, is it that all of the masks have a chance of being the mask that with the Code of God in it? Like, it would explain, like, we have seen the 3 types of masks so far. The happy masks, the, like, neutral ones, and the unhappy ones. Which, I assume those aren't, like, those don't line up one-to-one with these. Like, I assume all of those are strikes in the sense that they all work, but non-strikes don't, huh? Don't come here, Nisei-chan. Yeah, she's not dumb. I'm certain that she's probably figured it out at this point. I'm prepared to use that in the bag. Oh boy, alright, we have the hand-crushing mask coming out here. Man, this entire volume has been very like, hey, for once in series, you should root for the masks. Because we have, Sniper Mask is getting more and more developments, and now Crusher Mask might save both of our characters. Not intentionally, but still. Wait a minute, that's not a mask, that's a helmet. Okay, it's a helmet over a mask. I was gonna say, like, is this yet another type of mask? Ooh, a rider mask. Is he going to be a hero? Like, are we saying rider isn't common rider, or just, like, general, motorcycle rider? Maybe these people have only fought the weak masks. Ooh. Okay, he boxes. That's unexpected. Like, I guess it makes sense. I don't know how else. I figured that because he was a motorcycle rider, and because we saw him, like, crush a guy's head with his hand, I thought he was going to fight mostly through, like, a grasping. Like, he just crushes heads. Like, it's all that grip strength that you would get from, like, grabbing a motorcycle. That's a dumb idea now that I think about it. This is very, very warranted. At the same time, like, I don't know how Yuri's going to survive. Can she just crawl away? Because, like, this guy's not... Yeah, weren't the masks inept and worthless dummies? Weren't they? Stronger than the sniper mask. Stronger than the maid mask. Yep, he's done. He's done. This mask's weapon is boxing skills. Okay, so even that one time where I thought he, like, crushed a guy's head, I think that might have been a punch. But just, like, the way it was drawn made me think it was grasp. Maybe this mask hasn't noticed me? Does he think I'm a dead body? Yeah. Like, it seems like they have some sort of hyper-awareness, which also is interesting because, again, they don't have any sort of, like, Wi-Fi. They don't have any sort of, like, wireless information. So whatever permits you to be like, close to God has to be something physical. It has to be something that the mask can actually look at you and recognize. But it doesn't have to be, like, something obviously visible. It could be something like the way your heart beats or something. Or, like, a pheromone, maybe. Please tell him, my brother, that I did my best to survive. No, you're not dying here, Yuri. Nisei is not going to allow it. Nisei might die here, honestly, but I know for a fact Yuri's surviving. You getting killed is totally unacceptable. What is in the bag? None of the weapons we've seen so far would really work here. Maybe a bomb? Like, we do know that she had stuff that we haven't seen already. Like, she has secret weapons, so maybe. If you're going to get killed, I want to be the one to do it. Okay. And she saw the mask. Like, she saw the code already. I don't understand you. Huh, and there was a loud buzz sound when that happened. Like, it seems like genuinely everyone heard it. Like, this isn't just a moment. This isn't just a, like, a metaphorical thing. It seems like everyone actually heard the buzz. Nisei-chan. Why? How come? Doshite? Alright, and that's the end of the volume. So, if we go back to his explanation of the masks, there are 3 types, right? There are strikes and non-strikes. Also, it seems that there's some called a lucky strike. So, what I'm thinking is, she might have a lucky strike mask. Like, either it boosts you intensely, or maybe it lets you keep your personality? I don't think she's doing this because she's crazy. I think she genuinely wants to protect Yuri. But, like, she might be doing this in order to, like, give herself the craziness needed to be a powerful mask. Like, even, like, she respects that Yuri will be able to get away from her. So she just needs the strength in order to kill this mask. And then after that, she just respects that even if she can't control herself, Yuri will be able to get away. That's what I'm thinking. It's either that, or maybe this is a lucky strike mask, and, like, she'll be a mask on Yuri's side. Which, again, would be a cool dynamic. If not only is she a killer, but also she's a mask. Like, how do you sleep next to someone when, the person watching you is someone who may want to just throw you off of the building? It does fit a lot, like, of the 2 of them, or of the 3 main characters, I'd say, like, Yuri, Nisei, and Rika. Nisei seems like the obvious choice to wear a mask. Because Rika is very, like, he's very smart. Anything that could interfere with his brain would be a downside. Yuri is also a very calm person. She shouldn't have this impulse to kill. But Nisei, from the start, has been a killer. So it makes sense that if anyone's going to do this, it would be her. Oh boy. Alright. So that was High-Rise Invasion Volume 4. Really, really good. That's about it, though. I think I need to take a shower, so whew. See you around for the next one. It'll come pretty soon. Like, now that I'm getting into the groove with it, I'm probably going to read High-Rise Invasion relatively quickly compared to other series. Because I'm so into it. I'm so excited to get caught up. Anyways, this was Thermite. Bye for now. Nya nya.